Welcome to Unfiltered and Undecided, where the thoughts are messy, but the laughs are guaranteed. In this episode, we dive into social anxiety. You know, that special kind of panic that shows up when you wave back at someone who wasn't waving at you anyways, or you play a conversation from 2016 at 2 a.m. We're sharing our own awkward stories because why suffer alone? How social anxiety shows up in everyday life and some practical, doable first steps to deal with it without becoming a full-time hermit. So if you've ever canceled plans, second guessed your tone in a text, or stress sweated through small talk, you are in the right place. Let's get into it. Today we are talking about social anxieties and how people can't talk to people. Did you know that the acronym for social anxiety is SAD?
Social anxiety disorder.
It literally is sad and like
Does it make you sad?
clinical, but that's like the clinical
If you're
term.
socially anxious, you probably are sad because you have no friends.
I have friends and I'm socially anxious. Are
You
you
don't make as many friends.
That's a very true statement, but I also don't care to make as many friends.
So is there two types of social anxiety then?
There's
What
probably
if people do care but can't because it hinders them, but they want it?
If I had zero friends, I would want it. But because I have my group of friends, I don't care to make new friends.
Right, but I'm saying is there two types? Is there people who are comfortable and confident with what they have, so it's fine, like myself and you included, but then there's people maybe like someone that I'm thinking of that has social anxiety but also wants friends but has a hard time making them. I think there's two types is all.
Always says,
don't use real names. Bob always says.
Why?
Because you never know how they're going to feel about it at the end.
I very much coded who I was thinking
cared.
of.
Not in this, what I was going to say.
You never know.
That's who I was thinking.
Harold.
Now it's all clicking.
Yes.
Harold always says, I have enough friends. I don't need any more. I don't have time for more.
But yet, Harold is always talking to more people and getting more and more connections. He's like literally a yakety yacker to everybody under the sun.
But that person you're talking about has more of the...
Do you know who she's talking about?
I showed him.
Confidence
let's
issues.
Call that person
Topanga.
Sure.
Topanga.
So Topanga does have confidence issues. However, it's all linked. Social anxiety.
Well, let's talk about why is there social anxiety? Because you can't function like that in real life. Like she can't even order a pizza.
Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
The last time we tried to get Topanga to order a pizza, we were on vacation in Lake Tahoe, and it should have been very easy to call and order. We talked about it, right? Like we all knew what the order was.
I think actually we were just asking her to see how long the wait was because we hadn't even got that far.
It's even worse.
Thought it was going to be the longest.
It's even
wait.
worse.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was like super busy. We couldn't get through. And then she got through and we were like, ask how long the wait's going to be.
But she didn't ask how long the wait was going to be.
No, they answered, I'll be them.
Oh, good. Okay.
Whitecaps Pizza, Lake Tahoe.
I need a pizza, large.
Click.
Dang it, how long was the wait time? It just happened.
Yeah, well, it's fight or flight. The amygdala.
What's a big word?
Fight, flight, freeze, and I think there's now a fourth
one. That's where the responses in your brain, like an overactive amygdala, that causes social anxiety.
But that's where I think there's more socially awkward.
Oh, socially awkward is my jam.
Well, that's when your brain's overactive and stuff. That's when you like rehearse in your brain. I need to order this latte. I need to order this latte. It's going to be this way. A latte, a latte, a latte, a latte. And then you walk up to the counter and you're like, I'll take water. What? Because you're
That only happens if it doesn't
Socially
go
awkward.
according to the script.
Yes, if it
In your
matches
brain.
the script in your brain,
It'll work fine.
Yeah.
It's like when they throw off the script, when they turn around, instead of saying, what can I get you? They turn around and say, oh, I like your hair today. What can I get you? Then you're like,
Yeah. So I had someone tell me, who's also socially awkward, that you should have 5 phrases in your brain at all times on how to respond. So like 5 like go-to statements when you're socially awkward.
Like good morning.
No. That you're
it's 5:00 at night. Good morning.
And that you always throw those out, no matter what.
Do you remember what those 5 statements
No, you
were?
have to come up with them for what's comfortable to you.
Good
Fine.
Told,
okay.
No, like statements that you would like say to
How's it going?
No, that's a question. But
you're very picky on your statements.
No, 5 statements for responses. If someone, I mean, yes, fine, whatever, but you have to have it more like simple, less simple, but also more personal. 5 that you can pick too.
Do you have 5?
No.
Do you have 5?
I'm not socially awkward or socially anxious, so I don't need 5.
But why aren't you? Do you like people?
Yes, generally. No, actually. Let me think about that. I think most people are idiots.
Well,
so then why do you like talking to them so much?
Because Joel likes talking about himself. He likes to see how
I don't like talking to
it's a performance.
The idiots.
For Joel.
But you just said most people are.
I know. But you can't find out if they're idiots unless you start talking to them.
But it's a performance for Joel. That's why.
Performance?
You like to perform.
To be the
I
center?
hate performing.
Do you like to be the center of attention?
I love to do backflips out of the blue.
I haven't done backflips in ages.
Just did one on the trampoline.
When nobody was here.
Ah!
No audience. I did one in Hawaii before I turned 40.
Yes.
And I said, that's close enough. Yeah, your point's not accurate. But either way, I don't mind talking to people because I don't find it awkward.
But small talk is awkward.
Awkward?
Here's the thing. Do you
You're doing your anxiety right now. Awkward.
I hate talking to people.
Do you genuinely care what people are saying to you?
At first, yes. But then if it's like I said, idiots, I quickly don't care.
Because I think that's my problem is I don't think of questions that normal people would think to ask someone. So it's almost a skill, really.
It's interesting because I don't think of questions to ask people. They just happen because I'm curious.
Well, I was telling Jamie on the phone today. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, that's odd.
That's
natural questions come because I'm interested in asking them a question. I'm not sitting there thinking in my head, should I ask about the weather?
No, I don't think about any of that.
Do you think they're interested in a snowboard?
It's definitely a skill.
Because it is a skill and it's something you develop over time of doing it. And you get better at it. That's why salespeople get better and better.
But that's why I just genuinely don't think to ask. I just go hi. And then
I find small talk extremely difficult. Like past hi. It is so hard. Small talk is so hard.
Just talk about something you like.
But if I don't want to talk about it because it's not important, then why am I wasting
Does every conversation you have to be important?
Then why else am I having it?
To talk to people.
But why do I want to talk to them?
To have them learn about you.
I like getting to know people and I don't mind sharing and doing that whole thing, but it's exhausting for me. And that's I enjoy sometimes getting to learn about people, but it's more about it's exhausting.
I'll listen to conversations all day, but don't force me to participate.
I don't know what's exhausting about it.
To have to think about what I'm saying and actively listen.
That's a lot of work.
And then if I don't like the topic or I know nothing about the topic, to pretend that I'm interested in the conversation that is occurring. Like when you and your boys come over and you're like, do you want to hang out with us? In my head, I'm like, hell no, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to talk about whatever it is that you were talking about.
And there's never a topic of conversation. It just goes where it goes. Like it's natural. No one has a topic, and we don't sit down and say.
Interpersonal relationships are easier for me. Like if Joel's friends were back, just because I've known them for so long as you have, and that's where we're different. This is where there's variations of social anxiety, awkwardness. So with the same people, we'll say, I can probably naturally have a conversation and be fine. I think. I have. I imagine.
The fact that you're unsure.
Well, I can talk to like Panda, no big deal. I can talk to most people that I'm aware and familiar with, no problem. It's new, brand new. I've never met you before, people. So like those small, if your friends came over, it doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all seeing your friends. But like,
so that tells...
but for you, that is a level of uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
See, there's a difference.
It's extremely uncomfortable meeting new people. I don't know why. If I knew why.
I don't know. But see, there's so many variations. So interesting.
It's like you guys care what the new people think. And
No.
the other people already know you, so you don't care anymore.
Well, no, see, we're different. She doesn't care to be with the old people.
Well, she just gets annoyed by banter.
It's tiring. I agree. Especially with new people, it's tiring because I feel like I really have to like put forth a lot of effort. So if I'm not ready, if I'm not in the right headspace,
you're wearing a coat,
then it's tiring to have a conversation with new people.
It is. But so for the new people, I don't want to. Like I went to Jenny's birthday. Great example. All of her friends, I've never met them. And there I was. Not interested.
Hanging out. Chit-chatting it up.
And talking to a single soul.
But why?
And I have the photo to prove it somewhere.
Off in your own little corner. Give me an AirPod or a book. I'll totally isolate. It's fine.
But why? Why go?
Because it was Jenny's birthday. So, of course, I'd be there.
She doesn't want you hiding in a corner.
I didn't hide in a corner. I just did my own thing.
In a corner?
In the picture, it looks like that. But I don't know. I think I was telling Jamie on the phone today. I was saying, Joel and I were talking about being social awkward when we were walking on the walk. And I said, Rachel, how we went on a walk yesterday and had people walk by us, say hello. And I had said good morning at one point, and it was not morning. And then I said to Joel, I just don't know what to say. Joel said, hi.
Howdy do.
And I was like, I guess that just doesn't cross my brain because it's not one of my 5. So
it's not a long word to remember.
I don't know why. Anyway.
I will say the walks where you walk past people and you're going by and they
it's because you're approaching each other and it's like. Well,
do you say something? Do you not? Do you look at the ground?
Are you going to say hi or are you going to say hi?
I say it every time, regardless of what they're going to do, because then it doesn't make it weird waiting for them to do it first.
You know what else isn't weird? You look at the ground and you walk on.
But I will say weird things like Dad used to, and I'll say, howdy.
Good night, mate.
Morning.
Top of the morning.
Things like that. Mainly for my own entertainment, but I don't find it awkward, though, to say hi.
But I don't have an issue going up to someone in a grocery store or, like we talked about, Lowe's and asking for help. That doesn't bother me at all. But, like, you said that would.
I don't like having to necessarily go... like order, like when we have a big order and Joel's like, you have to place the order. I'm like, I don't want to place the order. Or even pizza. I don't know how many times you've told me, how do you screw up an order for pizza?
She screws up ordering pizza pretty often.
Because it causes anxiety to call. And I don't know why. I think it's stupid.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
It sounds like
doesn't fall far.
So wait a second here. You're making comments about a situation that you have.
She's that person that.
But I will call and do it at least.
Is Topanga you?
I want a latte. I want a latte. Click. That's
that
you,
is
isn't it?
Very interesting. See, so varying levels. I don't have that problem at all.
I will say
Zero
the
issue.
Why would
development
you have
of
a problem
mobile
with that? I don't
apping,
get that.
mobile ordering has like saved my life. I don't have to talk to a soul.
I mean, I appreciate mobile ordering too,
For other
because
reasons.
then it's a written document of how I ordered everything.
Yeah, and then you just go click.
They can't mess it up.
You're right.
But when I have to relay it over the phone to someone who's writing it down and they're like busy and they're going to mess up their writing and then the order's messed up that way, that's different than the online order, and it's all.
Well, since we're just on the topic of ordering really quick, online versus in person or over the phone, does anyone else get so frustrated? And maybe this is just a patience problem. I get so frustrated when they want, so I'm giving my order. I would like XYZ. Okay, great. Be ready in 15 minutes. Can I get a name? Sure. Give them my name and a phone number. Sure. Like, why do you need all of this information?
Depends.
I'll just be there.
Well, most of the time their system
I'm
tracks
literally like
the
ready
order
to hang
that
up,
way.
and they keep asking me questions.
The
And I'm like,
order, a lot of places, their system that they're putting your order in requires that so that they can track who it is. When you don't show up, they can call you and things like that.
can I get a name for your order? Can I get a number?
Especially
What's an email address? What about your birthday?
Especially
how
if
old
the
you
dollar
are?
amount is
Are you using
higher.
cash or card?
They want to know phone number so they can reach you and
Are
say,
those your 5
your
responses?
food has been ready for 40 minutes.
I
Can
don't
you pick
care.
it up?
I know. I called.
Well, they
I
don't want it to, they
know.
want to know if they can throw it away. Are you
Oh.
coming or not?
So
It's
frustrating.
Probably also because
Makes
normally
sense
you
to me.
pay when you
No.
get there, though, so that if they're going to make the food, they want to make sure they have a way to contact you if you don't
That's why I
come
said for
to
the
pay for it.
bigger dollar amount ones, they want to get paid.
Sure.
They want to make sure you're coming.
It's just so annoying.
And they're going to harass you and call you 86 times until you show up and pay them.
Actually, that is something that the Pizza Factory did, and that annoys me too, is they do the whole name, number, annoyingness. And then they call and say, your pizza will be ready in 10 minutes.
They're liars.
Okay.
Every time.
Why did you call? Great. It's not ready now, then I don't care.
Every time I've gone there, though, the pizza's
Never
not
ready.
They always say 20 minutes.
Then they call
and
back.
it's always like
Your
45
pizza's
minutes.
ready. And I'm like, oh, great. Or it's going to be ready in 5 minutes. Like, they actually call you and give you like an update.
They don't
That's
want it
weird.
sitting there.
I guess.
And I'm like, stop calling me. Like, I don't like the little things that just drive me crazy, but it's fine. Guess who doesn't order pizza in there anymore?
Ordering pizza is hard.
The ARC, it
It's not
annoys me
hard.
with questions the most.
I don't have that problem.
It's hard.
You know why? It's because I have children in the back seat going, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and I'm like, can you just take my order?
Take my order. Let me get off the phone.
That's true. Your car is always very loud.
So please. Social anxiety arises with me around my kids. Like,
How so?
Quinn will do things that I would never. So I'm like low-key wanting to tape her mouth shut sometimes because it's embarrassing. Because then she makes me have to talk to people. And I hate that.
Oh, you mean like that time you had a friend that ended up all the way through your house and then through my
Yes.
house and then through the neighbor's house because Quinn decided to take
What
them on a
great
neighborhood tour?
example.
What happened?
Quinn has a friend, and that friend's mother came to. Oh no, we were.
There
at
was like the park. You were at the park.
We were at the park, and Quinn goes, "Can you come see my house?" She wanted to show her friend our house, and I was like, "Sure, I guess." But my house was literally upside down. Like, it was a Saturday. Saturdays they just play all day, and I don't touch it until Sunday. It was really a
Tornado
mess.
Alley.
This person's mother came with them. And I was like, holding my breath. Like, this is so embarrassing. But whatever. Because I mean, you just can't care. Whatever. So I let her in on the house. And then Quinn took her on a tour in every room.
Well,
And then,
Oh, it doesn't stop
you
there.
didn't know.
It gets worse. It comes to my
I'm like,
neck of the woods.
well, I'm not breathing through this whole process. And then I've learned, I don't know about you, well, not you, but I'm a verbal vomiter when I'm nervous. I just talk.
Yeah, tire tracks.
Like, I just can't have any blank space. So I'm literally, there's like,
Trying to distract them from your house.
well, no, I was telling her about my house because, like, I had stuff all over the couch, so she didn't know where to sit. And I'm like, sorry, let's go in the backyard. And then the kids are playing in the backyard. I'm like, well, there's couch cushions. Zach
They put them on the trampoline.
all on the trampoline, so there's nowhere for her to sit in the backyard. And I was like, well, the couch cushions are on the trampolines. I just don't care. I guess I'm very flexible. Like, just coming up with all these. Saying all this stuff. She's literally saying nothing, and I'm just like, blah, 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 talking about all my insecurities about why couch cushions.
She was taking notes in her brain.
Never letting her play here. She cares about nothing.
Freak of nature.
Well, and then Knox was like on the power wheel, and like I'm anxious too. She was also here for this. The kids were riding around on the power wheel, and Knox was trying to get on the back. He's never been on the back. This is all new. And I'm literally going, of course this is happening right now when he's trying to ride on the back. And so I say to her, she doesn't know me, and so she doesn't understand my humor, but I'm awkward when things like this are happening. So I'm like, well, this might be the day Knox dies. He'll learn. And she's just like,
yeah, that's a
check. Crazy.
She took out a red Sharpie for that.
And I'm just like, shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that, actually. I'm never going to be trusted with her kid. Oh my God.
Well, that's
This is the day the Knox might die.
This is the day Knox might die, but it's fine.
kind of a freaking weird thing to say.
Well, because he was riding on the back. So anyways.
This might be the time he dies.
I don't know.
Oh, I get that. I say weird stuff all the time when I'm nervous.
Well, then we're tracking through, and we're in the backyard now, and I'm verbal vomiting about the cushions, and then the gates open. And then Quinn goes, come see our pool! And I'm like, that's not our pool. That's Uncle Joe and Aunt Rachel's pool. And she's like, come on, and drags us all into your backyard. And so I'm messaging Rachel, like, just to front load her, like, hey.
We're coming through with a train.
And then it doesn't stop
Lots
there.
of
We
people.
come all the... Well, actually, the best part is Rachel saw us through the window, saw me through the window, and didn't realize I had a friend. And then saw the friend, and then
redirected to I went to get up to go outside when I saw Nay and the kids, and then I saw the friend, and I was like, yeah, no, going back to the couch. I'm just gonna stay.
And then we came in the house. So now Quinn's taking your monitor for your house.
Every room.
Come over here. This is my cousin, Jacqueline.
Uncle Joe sleeps here.
Just so excited. And I felt bad because, like, Quinn was just so excited to show her where she lives, right?
And where I live, apparently.
Well, she, like, lives here, too. And then, it doesn't stop. So I'm literally like, I see relief. When I see Rachel, I'm like, relief.
I'm glad you felt relief. I was like,
hiding in the closet.
I stayed on the couch, but I was like,
adults to help with the pressure of what's happening. And I'm so I'm out of things to say. I've already said everything, and I'm like literally throwing myself under the bus left and right, like the Knox comment, like all the things. And then it doesn't stop there. Then she sees
there's more.
Then she's on then they all load up on the power wheel again, and I'm like, the relief, like they're out of here, they're rolling around. But then Quinn's like going over here, realize Padma's garage is open. And takes the trolley in there. In her house. Doesn't even knock on the door. Just walks in.
No. She owns all these homes, I guess.
So now the trail continues. And Pat was like, oh, hello. I guess we're hosting more friends today.
We're just hanging out through the neighborhood.
But again, sigh of relief for me. Because
somebody else. Quinn does not have social anxiety.
No, she doesn't.
Not even a little.
No, she's very confident.
She will put me in a lot of situations similar to that where I have to engage. And I'm like...
You'd think exposure therapy would have helped you by now. With all this exposure.
It doesn't help.
Yes, it does.
I'm getting a little better.
It's actually proven.
Would you like me to tell you what Harold said the proven methods
I bet you
are?
it says exposure therapy is in there.
Well, here's what it says. First, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yep, CBT.
Gradual exposure.
Oh, exposure therapy.
But
Weird.
it says encouraging gradual participation in social activities.
It's almost like there's a psychologist sitting here.
Relaxation techniques, limiting your
Breathing.
screen time, and building social skills by participating in group activities or social skills trainings like the programs like Friends.
Speaking of, I sent you an email to your work email, so do you not check it?
No,
Start there.
I checked it. Was it about softball? Because I saw that and then I deleted that and said, let's pretend I didn't see that.
No, you're anxious about your emails too?
That sounds terrible.
So, speaking of
You
group
have social
activities,
email anxiety?
so I saw that Cross City does an adult softball league, and it's like all summer, and it's on Monday night. It's like, this actually looks kind of cool. Well, I sent that to you, and you didn't reply.
I did not reply.
Delete.
And I forgot I even sent it.
I was hoping you were going to forget forever that you said that.
Until you said activities. So
Maybe
how are you supposed to better yourself?
Exposure therapy.
a different activity. Can we find a
Like bike
different
riding?
activity?
How we all go on bike
Sure.
riding? That
Much
was
better.
a big deal for me, everybody. I didn't know all those people.
Rachel didn't go. She went in her car.
What? Bike riding?
I did a couple on the actual bike.
Almost every time we've gone bike riding, Rachel
Oh, really?
I
drives
think
in
I
her
only
car.
did one in my car, actually.
And then
Well, she
one
still
out of your
came.
car? Because I
I
don't
think
think
two.
you go very
I
often.
think I've gone to two.
But she
That's
still
'cause
came.
you guys go for like 10 hours. I get bored after like 4 stops and I'm good. But I still came. I still participated. I
But I
came.
almost
I
feel like
participated.
You did.
And then I leave.
We gotta make it. I do agree that like going to each stop, like there's got to be something in between that's different.
Yes, like home. Like, in the middle, I
Like
go
what?
home.
Not home.
I don't know. Maybe a kickball moment. We could play kickball.
While we're on a bike ride,
I
we're going
don't
to
know.
stop, drop, and roll.
I don't know. I'm
And we're
trying.
gonna play sardines underneath like the street tunnels.
I don't know.
What are we, 8?
I don't know what the answer is, but
It's not that.
it may not.
Sardines is fun.
It's not that for me.
You liked it when we played at the elementary school. As an adult.
Yes.
No, sardines is fun.
And I liked it when we
But
played
just
in
not
Maui.
with the bike ride.
It was in Maui, right?
Yes.
That we played that?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the resort in Maui. It was fun. After I had a couple of beverages to dole down my social anxiety.
Sure. I don't know why you have to drink to have fun. It can be fun without it.
I don't have to. I enjoy it.
So
More.
then you
It's like
can-
an amplifier.
Well, the good news is that when you go on the bike rides, it's bike rides to pubs. So you will have had a couple drinks. So you're already prepared for the halfway break point of
I don't know. I just think it
kickball.
needs to be so like.
Something that's going to make me want to throw up, especially with our heat that's
Well,
108
then you tell
outside.
me. What's your opinion?
My opinion, bike rides are fine the way they are.
I don't mind them.
They're just too
enjoy 'em
long for me.
Just fine.
It's like I have, and all my friends know this, and I appreciate this about them. I have a 2-hour window of socialization.
Yes, I know. Your social battery.
I have a 2-hour window. So no matter what I'm doing,
You need to switch to
softball,
Duracell.
bike riding, or hanging out with people that I love and appreciate, after 2 hours, I'm done. I don't want to have to be social anymore. I want to go be quiet. I don't want to have to say another word. I don't want to have to think about something else that somebody else is saying. It's over.
Get a Duracell.
No.
I only feel
Trade
that
in
way
your battery.
about some people. I don't have that problem with people I'm really comfortable with
Well, you can be like with Jenny all the time.
all day.
And like Rachel and I are actually, we can hang out longer than 2 hours, but mostly because her and I are both fine sitting in the same space and not saying a single word to each other for hours.
That's weird.
But
You just look at each other in your eyes.
no, we'll read a book or we're doing
The
our
same
own
book or
thing. No,
different
but like
books?
we don't have to.
Or do you share
be
the book and you
like,
both read it
we've
the same
spent
page?
weeks together, just her and I and the kids.
I can only imagine.
And there are plenty of times where we're completely
I can
fine sharing
only
the same
imagine.
space, but not conversating.
Sounds boring.
No, it's great because then we
Then
talk
I would
and we
play
do things,
kickball or
but then we're
sardines.
also fine doing nothing.
think
I would
it's
just
fine
sit there
to do
going-
nothing.
If I'm
I
doing
don't know, I was
nothing, I want to do
thinking.
nothing by myself. It's weird to do nothing with your friend just sitting next
Yeah,
to
but
you.
you go to like Tahoe with people.
Yes, and I usually end up in my room at some point away from them.
While I'm going.
I will usually be like,
Right,
after we're
okay.
there for a while, I'm like, okay. And I just let him know and I leave and I shut the door and I go away.
Did you do that when we were there last time?
I don't know.
She does it every
I was
time.
party already in my room because I put the kids to bed.
I do it every time, just about.
She goes to bed at 10 while we stay up till like 2.
Not me. I was in bed by like 9,
Mhm.
8.
Or I go and I shovel the driveway of snow.
Even
And I
when
get
it's-
away. I get out of it.
Even when it's just we're at Jamie's house and it's just
We
Jamie
do nothing.
and Chris
Yeah.
and us.
Yeah.
I will literally sit on the couch and talk with Jamie until
Yeah.
3 a.m. drinking wine.
And
Yeah.
Chris and I go to bed.
And Rachel's just like disappears. And then Chris just on the couch next to us while we're
Yeah.
just blah, 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 blah.
That's
blah,
like
blah.
our whole family can do that though.
I know. And I'm like, Rachel, where'd you go?
My
Why can't-
battery drained.
why
It's
can't-
I think
over.
that's just our family.
Why can't you hang out too?
Maybe not. But like, who
We'll leave it at
carries it?
that.
Because I think about it and like, mom. Let's talk about social awkwardness. Both
Mm,
of our parents.
nanogram.
Both of our parents were the were the most awkward people ever. So like, how did we become? I'm not that social, so I'm not gonna say we. You and Hase become so specially inclined to want
The
to be
world.
social.
That is true. When you think about the fact that you guys have like, what are there, 6 of you?
Yes.
So, okay. Out of all 6 of you, 2 of you are overtly extroverted and social, and the other 4 of you are more like,
Hermit crabs.
Well, I almost
I was
think
going to
there's
say calm.
raging, like
I can explain
Range.
exactly.
Was it that middle child syndrome?
No.
it's the range. No, because
Then are you and Jackson on the same page?
100%.
You two on those ends of our family are social anxiety butterflies.
Okay, so then let's talk about why you're not, because there's a growing
But then there's
epidemic of
those two
social
who are
anxiety.
completely
Very
crazy.
in our young
I feel
people.
like I teeter the middle.
I think
line.
I understand
I don't
why.
think I'm terrible, but
Okay,
I'm not
why?
If you look at who traveled and did all the things all the time, it was Jace and I and Dad and nobody else.
But that was socially awkward.
Yeah. Which made us have to be non-socially awkward. When we said, hey, we'd go to Detroit or whatever for a family reunion. And it was, hey, we need to get a rental car. Because back then you couldn't like pre-book them online.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was hard to do that back then. So it was like, let's go see who has the cheapest rate. And we'd walk around. Jason and I at 10 years old would walk to all these different rental car counters at the airport and say, what is your standard rate for the subcompact car? And then we would have to go and report back to Dad.
Because he was so socially awkward, he didn't want to have to do it all.
Well, and he said it was
So
a
he
lesson
said the
for us,
children.
but I know he just didn't want to do it.
Well, it was
We
a lesson.
also-
Look at you now.
Called about 150 hotels back. I know you probably
No,
don't
no.
remember the hotel banks. Do you remember the hotel banks at the airport?
Yes, but
Where they have a big
yes.
hotel wall and you call and it's like dial 18 to call the Holiday Inn.
I
Dial
do not
21
remember
to-
that at
Well,
all.
they used to have like booths.
It was a booth.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Under the hoop.
Oh yeah. And you'd pick up the phone like a white. Do you remember the white paging courtesy phones at the airport where you
No.
could page people in the airport?
When I
Like-
was in the airport, I was traveling alone because I was going from my mom's house to my dad's house.
Which
in
is why you
Utah.
should know where all those phones
And-
are.
Not be social.
I
you
like,
had to
I-
manage.
I had the person who made sure that I got on my flight and then
Oh yeah.
off my flight. Like,
You were an
I didn't go around the airport.
Well, back in the day, there was white paging phones where you could like page to the paging system
Okay.
throughout the airport. So it was
Which-
like,
Sounds insane.
well, you don't get on the pager. You tell them, hey, I need to page my dad. I'm missing him. I'm at gate 32. Can you page Dennis Nelson to gate 32? And then they would get on there and Dennis Nelson, meet your party at gate 32. We used to do that as a way to communicate because we were on standby for flights and Dad would have us waiting for one flight
No way.
6 gates down and he would be on that. Jace would be over there and Dad would be over there and we didn't have cell phones. So to communicate, we had a system where if we paged somebody with their name, that meant
Run.
Come to us. Run. We got on the flight.
I mean, ingenious, but I would die.
We also used the payphones, if you remember that, 1-800-COLLECT.
I do.
And then it asks you
who is it calling?
Who's
And
calling?
you left the message there.
And we would leave a message there like,
rather than saying your
Mom,
name.
we got on the flight to Hawaii or to Germany or whatever, and we're supposed to land at this time. You need to tell.
That's not long enough. You would just have like
it was very
the amount of
but
time.
we would call,
Hawaii, land.
We would call like 3 or 4 times just to get the message across because like we were communicating with Grandpa Red sometimes, and Mom would be the go-between.
I do remember that.
We had a system. This is why Jason and I can work in the world.
Excuse me, I work in the world just fine.
Go back to the hotel phones. There was a whole bank of all these hotels, and we would have to, at 10 years old, call and be like, yes, what is your best rate? Do you accommodate...
I'm looking for a hotel.
But we would also have to use the language where we were asking for distressed passenger rates. Probably don't know what that is either. But when a flight's canceled and things like that, they used to, I don't think they do it anymore.
Deals.
A deal for you if you just needed a room for the night because you were stuck.
It's Home Alone 2 in New York. Hello.
We did that our entire life growing up. So I think we just got good at doing it. Which is why when we travel with our kids, I want them to do it. Not because I have the anxiety. Clearly I don't, which you always seem to think I'm
because you keep pawning it off. You don't ever do it.
It's the lesson that I got to make me less like you. How do you like them apples?
There's another level I just thought of for social anxiety is like people have to present in front of class or having to.
No, I didn't like that much myself.
Or having to go, and
like
this is like a different scale, but like they feel like the attention's on them if they have to walk, like say through the cafeteria if there's a cafeteria full of students.
Yeah.
To go throw the
I felt that for sure.
You have to go throw your trash away in the front of the cafeteria. I don't know how it is wherever else, but so if you're sitting in the back of the cafeteria, you have to walk in front of every single person to go throw away your food to go leave.
That'd only be embarrassing if I had like a poop stain or something.
Yeah, but that's just it, is you don't know. And so you're worried that there is something.
So I guess
you don't know if you have a poop stain?
I mean, like, you're eating, not that you're going to have a poop
I think
stain.
I would know. Now we understand why you have some anxieties. You have loose flatulence.
That's the comments that she makes on why she has.
Jesus.
Like, maybe food stains or
I don't know if I have a poop stain, so I'm just going to sit here.
I mean,
whoa!
I've had so much food stains on my shirt when I've had to go talk to important people and I don't know.
That's weird too. How do you have food stains all over yourself?
Because I spill all the time.
Well, maybe you don't. Now we're learning why you might have anxieties because you're disasters.
Nobody gets my sense of humor. That has caused me anxiety.
But yeah, flat tire tire tracks out here.
Your sense of humor is a little weird.
Tire tracks was probably the best thing I've seen in a while. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I was talking to him.
Yeah, but I don't know if you heard it because I was literally like.
I didn't. I mean, I kind of heard it.
I
heard her blabbing back there.
You're like, oh, they parked awkward on the sidewalk. I don't know. They took your spot and then even parked on the sidewalk. And
yeah, none of my conversation was weird. And then
let's do a present. I look at her. I'm processing what kind of present?
Yeah.
What? A new car?
Car parked in front of your house?
Car on the sidewalk present? What are you talking about? And then she caught on that, like, maybe it didn't make sense. And she goes, tire tracks!
Tire tracks!
And then she just stopped talking.
Pretty sure there's no tire tracks.
You know how when people park on the sidewalk, there's like the black tire mark?
It's like so stupid. I still can't even handle it. Tire track, tire tracks.
It was supposed to be funny. It wasn't.
That was supposed to be, you were trying to be funny when you said that?
Yeah.
He left you a present.
Stop laughing so hard, you might get a poop stain.
It was actually
It was funny in my...
It was hilarious.
It was funny in my brain.
It was so funny watching it happen.
Yes, but the tire tracks part of it was not funny the way it was meant to be.
I
funny.
would have said that. That is something I would have done. But being on the other side and just watching it all go down was the best thing I've
Yeah,
ever seen in my
shitstorm.
life. Like you're
Having
just like,
conversations is hard. Even in Hawaii,
Hey,
you started
Raymond.
making fun of me because you said I got an accent talking to somebody. It's
Oh,
hard to
yes,
talk.
this is fun too.
maybe you do need a drink.
Do you ever meet people with an accent? Yes, you do.
Uh-huh.
You ever like
Right.
Mickey Blue? Well, sometimes people like adapt their speech to other people's accents
That would be odd.
on accident. Like it just happens because you're talking to
Why is odd your first reaction?
Well, because typically, yes, that would happen over a long period of time.
Okay, well, how about the first sentence?
No.
So we're sitting in the hot tub in Maui, and there's this guy there from Alabama.
No.
From Alabama. And he says something to Rachel. He says something like, "Oh yeah, morning over there. Yeah, I'm from Alabama." And Rachel's first sentence is, "Ah, morning. Morning, sir." And me and the kids all look at Rachel and we're like, because she was morning.
Oh my
And I'm like, where did that come from? It's morning over here. We're going to get some steak and some potatoes. And I was like, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Trying to not be awkward.
I'm trying to blend in. Like
To Alabama while you're sitting in Maui in a hot tub.
maybe
Got it.
that's the skill that I've learned is like trying to like
Adapt.
adapt to what they're giving, you know? No? Like you were being witty with Raymond, so I tried to be witty with Raymond and
Be you,
like,
don't be me. You're better off trying to
you.
be you.
being me is what is happening, and that is not
you are.
working well. It's not working.
No, it was
Morning.
great. It's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I heard morning for the rest.
More. That was pretty good right there. You got it. You got them there down.
I heard it for the rest of the trip from all of them. It was
Morning.
terrible.
Well, it's funny because
Awesome sunrise.
our foreign exchange student Malika was making fun of Rachel too, and she has a Kyrgyzstan accent. So when she's saying it, it was like morning. She was like practicing it for a while. Morning. Over and over again. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Being socially uncomfortable is not the way to live at all.
There's just no need for it.
Is there not an area in which you're ever uncomfortable? Because sure, like I just said, there's so many ranges. There, like I can walk into a cafeteria. Okay, it's fine.
Sure,
I did
everybody
not
gets a
have-
little hot under the collar from something. I think what makes me a little hot under the collar, if I can remember correctly, times in my life, is if I'm like in a job interview and they ask me a question I was not prepared for at all.
Okay, but that's totally not the same.
Well, that's like the
Like
only
in a
time that makes me
random situation.
Never in-
social.
That's
never
not
in a
a-
not
social,
professional.
never in a social situation.
Because like I turn like this is like an ongoing joke at work because
If I had a poop stain in a social situation, I
Shut
would
up.
turn red.
I turn red no matter what.
Yes, the rashes. Do you get the
I get
rashes?
so rash.
But I like in social situations,
Like I can't hide
that's where you should thrive.
that I'm uncomfortable.
I do not thrive.
I know, that's where I love it.
I was literally having a social conversation at work and they were talking about, I don't even remember now. And like I said something like tire tracks and I flamed red. And they're like, "You're so red right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm very uncomfortable."
In a social setting.
In a social setting. I
That
was
doesn't make any
so
sense.
uncomfortable. And like the worst part is I can't hide it. Like I
Mhm.
turn colors. I am the movie
Red.
Elemental or whatever.
No, elemental? That was
What is that?
embarrassing.
No, that is a movie.
What is that?
Isn't it elements? Elemental.
No, it's not.
Emotions.
It's the emotion movie. I don't know. Elemental. Fire and
Elemental?
water.
And then you tried to agree with that?
Do you know the name of it?
Yes, because he does psychology. What is it?
It's definitely not
What is
elemental.
What is it?
called? We use it in our classroom all the time. It's not elemental.
Inside out.
Inside out. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah. No, but
Elemental.
there is another
And it's a
one.
fire and ice one.
There is another one though called
Elemental.
Elements or Elemental that is about like it has the
Fire and water.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called Elemental.
It's different than the Inside Out with the emotions.
Elemental
I don't know
is
that
fire and
one.
water movie. I will show you. But either way, I am inside out. I turn colors.
But
and so there's no hiding how I'm feeling ever.
But in social settings, why do you have that much care in your body to turn a color?
I don't know that it's care or
Like
if it's
you
like
accidentally say something, own it and move on.
This fits so perfectly as I was looking for the Elemental movie to show you. So Lauren, who I work with, agrees 100% that she is more maybe socially awkward than even me. Like we're both so uncomfortable. She just literally sent me this and said, why are we like this? And it says, when you have to make small talk, waiting for the meeting to start. Let's see what it says.
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme? Have you ever gone to Krispy Kreme? Was it crispy?
No.
Right. Have you ever had a Krispy
That's us in a meeting.
Was it crispy?
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme?
That's gonna be what I say in my meeting tomorrow. Have you guys ever had a Krispy Kreme?
Like, it's the most. You must feel this, like you being in a meeting, IEP meeting, you being in one, before the meeting starts, and we're all just waiting.
That's my favorite part of the meeting.
It is the most uncomfortable.
Especially if parents are there already.
Yeah, that's if the parents are there, then who cares? But the parents there, and we're all waiting. Like we're waiting for one team member. We're like, strip. I'm turning red.
I like it because then it gets me a chance on a social level to interact with the parents so they can know me aside from the formal IEP parameters.
Oh,
it's my favorite part.
The best invention for me was the Parent Square app where I can just message parents through text and I don't actually have to
you don't like
talk
to call
to
and
them.
order pizza.
It's too hard.
I have a social, maybe not social, but a close relationship with these people because I talk to them throughout the whole year.
Yes.
And even then, I'm like, pin drop?
That's weird.
I started actually printing pictures as to be icebreakers. Just throw them out on the table so they can look at pictures of their kid while we wait.
So weird.
To help. It's so bad.
I don't have that issue. I just talk.
It's the same reason. Okay, I don't know if you remember, but when Lily was little and we would have her parties at the house, I would say it has to be structured.
Yeah.
Like because I was terrified that the parents were going to come and sit, and if there wasn't something that like was being led, I'd have to talk to them
all the time.
And I kept the parents engaged. Blah, 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 blah,
I know,
blah,
this is why it's great, because you do all of the social things, so I can just bleed into the background.
I did all that. I used the kids at all of those parties because I felt so much more comfortable around kids that it took me away from having to be around the awkward parents. So I would go, you can go look at it. I didn't have kids. I'm over here playing freaking spiderweb silly string with
because then you don't. Yep.
I'm playing whatever the heck with other kids that
and I was happy to let you because I'd rather hang out with the adults than the kids.
I was doing
especially when they're under the age of 5.
I remember
it's also why I put end times on my invitations.
And mine never have an end time.
Well, I feel like it all depends on if it's my party or going to someone's party. Like my party, it's all my people. Who cares? I went to one of Quinn's. I'm learning mom life and having to socialize, and I had to go to a birthday party for her, and I was like,
see, that's where your difference is, because even on Rachel's party, she puts end times. They're all her people.
2 hours, and I'm like, then you gotta go. You gotta get out.
So that you can...
Because I need to decompress in a dark space
for a while. Watching Rachel during these parties. I don't think I ever have.
You'll notice that after 2 hours, I really start to isolate or go away completely. Just gone.
I'm trying to understand how you even made it through any trips at all ever with us.
I guess I took all the spotlight. You didn't notice when she disappeared.
Oh, no, you were there.
Because if I can't physically disappear, I will verbally disappear where I just listen.
You were totally involved on the cruises. We have pictures of your hands up.
Yeah. Those are...
She had a little beverage.
Those are spurts.
One little beverage, and she's like...
Those are spurts of energy.
Beverage.
I don't even think I had a beverage at that one. But Lily was there too, so I was trying to like dance with Lily. She was in there.
Not that at that time.
I think so. I think the picture has her.
Not at the yellow one.
I thought she
That
was.
was like the nightclub. Nanny Graham had her.
Yeah. You were out wiggling.
I must have had a break before then.
Wiggling.
Dancing is the worst social anxiety. Oh my god.
Oh, that's the easiest
That's
for me.
easy.
Hey,
you don't have to talk, so why is
no, but
that
then
hard?
it's like
Yeah,
people look at you.
Nobody's looking at you.
But you think people look at you.
That's what all the high
And then
school
make
kids
fun
go
of
to
you.
dances thinking. Nobody cares.
No.
I've gotten more comfortable as I've gotten older,
I
but
did not
that
know
was
that about
real
you.
hard.
There's a social anxiety when I was in high school. I didn't like to dance.
What?
Yep.
That's like all you do.
I know. Because I learned I'm pretty good and nobody cares.
Interesting.
But in high school, I was like, no, I don't want to be that weird dude doing, I don't know what I'm
so
doing.
finally you can relate.
Sort of.
I don't want her to be like me, where it's so like socially debilitating. I don't want that. But I feel like I'm too late.
Kind of there.
We need to fix it. Like Declan's no problem. Quinn's no problem.
Declan really does well.
He adapts really well to situations.
Really well. Because Jenny talks even about that. Like I've told you before.
Who's his dad? Duh.
Who's Topanga's dad? Duh.
Took after her mom.
Typically, kids who have to go to other kids' birthdays at his age, like, if you don't talk about not knowing people,
Mm-hmm.
and now at that age, even worse. Oh my God. And he goes and just doesn't even blink an eye.
He makes new friends
He's
every
He
time.
actually engages.
in his little
And he's
tiny
not like in
skin.
his own little bubble. He like engages and plays and does all the things, and then
I think it's being comfortable with who you are.
I don't know. I feel like it's also like, okay, this says the reasons for SAD,
being
digital and social media usage, overprotective parenting, which I totally did with Topanga. And then COVID-19. I overparented.
The lesson is
protected,
exposure
her
and
so much.
exposure young, so they don't know that they're getting exposure. Like when I had to do all those airport things, and I think Declan does pretty good because I kind of push him to do stuff.
I've been trying to push.
Quinn's being pushed to do stuff.
Yeah.
We just were a little too soft on Topanga.
Well, that's why I'm
At the
trying to push her,
time,
like
we
with the
didn't know.
pizza order, but that didn't go well.
well,
No.
slow. What did it say?
Exposure.
Slow exposure.
She does all the other stuff though, badminton, all the things.
Okay, psychologist. I just need like the final thought. Social anxiety is real. Awkward moments
And it
are real.
And I feel like there's a range.
There's a range, but
huge
like
range.
Science says it's an overactive amygdala.
with what part of my brain is that?
It's the fight or flight response in your brain, and when it becomes
Oh, so the lizard brain back
overstimulated.
there.
when it becomes overstimulated, it's like about the littlest, tiniest things. Because you're overthinking all the reactions and responses that you might get that no one cares about and probably aren't going to happen. You think people are going to remember things that when you slip and fall, and most of the time they don't.
You guys remember tire tracks?
No, it's gonna forever live.
Well, I love comedy.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Tire tracks in your
Morning.
yard?
Morning, tire track.
I mean, yes.
But most
We'll
of the time,
forever remember those things. But
the standard
what did
people
we say to Declan?
don't
Own
care.
it.
Own it. That's true.
And he did own it today. He owned that situation we talked about.
With the
and-
power wheel?
Yep.
Wait, what happened?
And everything went swimming.
Did somebody mention it?
Yeah, the kid who took a picture of him tried to like throw him under the bus today in front of his friends. And Declan said, yeah, I took that bitch through McDonald's drive-through.
Well, I hope he didn't say it just like that.
Similar words. But that's what he said. And then he's like, yeah, and it was not street legal and they got mad. So, and then all the friends that were around there were just like, ah, and then that was the end of it.
Yeah, who cares?
Good for him.
Gotta own it.
And nobody cared.
Yeah, because if you own it, there's nothing for anyone to do with it.
I mean, I agree with that. It's just hard.
So hard.
It's
Especially
not that hard.
well at that
isn't
age.
hard.
At that age.
It'd be hard if you had a poop stain
So annoying.
and didn't know about it. That makes it even more hard. I don't know how that works, but
Shut up.
sure.
Did you want to end it by giving actual like tips?
Own it.
You're the psychologist.
Own it.
Oh, I have to do it?
Yeah.
Do it because you're the one who claims
To know.
is
I don't
has
know. I'm
social
just trying to
anxiety.
survive over here.
Guys, it's social anxiety. Let it go.
It's not that easy. It
Relax.
doesn't work.
Everybody, you know what? Wait. Before we finish, I have one more thing to say about it. You know that a lot of celebrities have social anxiety?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp has social
Yeah.
anxiety. Adele has
Yes.
social anxiety. Like that.
Yeah. They
Okay.
perform though.
Yeah. And because they can set it aside and compartmentalize.
Or because that's
But-
like practiced and you know exactly what's going to happen. Like Jaime in a lawyer room who knows exactly what's going to happen. So there's no social anxiety.
Okay. So, no, the last message I will have for all of you on this is many people that are very
Look that way.
successful. I'm talking to you too.
I don't need it.
Many people, yes, you do. Many people that are very successful in life and business, like the famous, all those people out there that are like CEOs and these and this and that, they all say, and actors too, they all say that everybody's full of shit. Nobody actually knows what they're doing. That's something I've heard my entire life from CEOs and podcasts and all kinds of professionals in there. No one actually knows exactly what they're doing. People just make it up as they go, and they figure it out as they go, because nobody knows what they don't know that's coming down the pipe. So you just gotta go and fake it till you make it if you have to, because that's what most of them are doing. Go
How
be
does
happy.
that help with ordering a pizza?
Fake it till you make it.
Take a deep breath, write it down. I
Pizza.
guess. Be prepared.
Just call and say pizza.
Large.
Pizza. Large.
Toppings,
Pizza.
I think.
Oh.
Is cheese a topping?
But the point is, like, it will help you be more confident in yourself, more comfortable.
But what's the first steps to doing that?
Exposure therapy?
But how? What would be the first thing to do to help
Order a
expose?
pizza.
So like, but I can order a pizza. So that's what I'm saying with the varying levels. So
Okay, like you're at the party with your one friend, but then all their friends that you do not know.
leave.
Don't care. And
You can't. It's not that simple. You
listen
can't-
to
you
what
have
they're saying.
Mm.
That's what I would say.
Well, that's what I try is ask
Engage.
questions, but then it ends after a while. You only have so many
You're not
questions.
interviewing them.
It's hard.
You're not
But
interrogating
then
people.
they'll answer and they don't necessarily push the conversation forward. So then if I don't ask another one, then it just like dies.
Well, you have to ask a question. Share something.
I
Like
love
when you're talking and you
Dateline.
ask a question and they answer and then it doesn't go any further, then share something on that topic you were talking about.
Or that's a social cue that they don't want to talk to you.
Or it could be shut the hell up cue.
See, you have to learn social cues to be social too.
Well, you should know social cues.
So that's your first step. Learn social cues.
That's not the first step. The first step is to say hello. Ask
And then learn
questions,
the social cue.
act interested if you're not interested,
But
or
what if-
be interested. It's better if you are interested.
Thanks for watching, listening,
Go out and say hi to somebody today. It's easy.
or don't.
Awkward. It's going to be real awkward.
Thanks for listening to Unfiltered and Undecided. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a good laugh or a good cry. Oh, it's like the grocery store. I got lost in there once and they paged my mom to learn how to dance. I don't know if you saw it at the Halloween party at my principal's house. It was so bad.
Well,
It was like
it comes from one side.
Like, love her.
so bad.
You live right here.
Yes. Can you teach her where she lives?
George
Yeah,
comes
I don't
here.
know.
No, it's called shoot, I forget every time. George Temple.
George Temple.
George Temple.
Schlop.
That's what you call spelling?
Uh-huh.
Why?
All over your shirt, you have a George Temple.
Schlop.
I didn't know that.
No,
But if you
your
ask me about me,
experience.
I will give you a very short answer generally and then not elaborate.
If I were to ask you about Hawaii, could you elaborate?
I could.
Would you like to?
No.
You don't get to go to Hawaii anymore.
I was totally avoiding that interaction. And then she said, Nice to see you again.
What were you doing? Looking at the clouds?
She said, nice to see you again.
Oh, you heard that.
And I was like, why did he see her? Maybe I just need to be more present.
Good work.
Yeah, you're not fucking listening, apparently.
Because I don't want to.